Our differences are what make us special, period. And our next guest is really special in all the best ways. She is a veteran, a survivor, an advocate, a fashionista, a content creator, an artist, and she really gets around on four wheels. She's also the founder of 100 Shades of Diverse Abilities. Welcome to Dr. Kimberly Kennedy Barrington. She is here to tell us more. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Kimberly.
Goodness, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so
we're back again.
You're back again on the Morning Mix. You were here because you were talking with the American Heart Association because you are a heart attack survivor.
Yes.
You're also a stroke survivor.
Yes.
You are just a survivor. So let's talk about your journey and where you're at today, what you're doing.
Oh my goodness. I was really excited to see you. You were in the Special Olympics Inclusion Center, that's where my office is.
Yes.
So I'm excited to be in the building, and I've been there since March of 2024.
Okay.
And actually, I've kind of matriculated into there after the show.
Okay, so you were in the Disability Advocates building, the offices there. Mm-hmm. Talk about what your organization does, how you fit in there, and what you hope to do.
Oh my goodness. So 14, has it been how many years? Over 11 years ago, I was referred to Disability Advocates of Kent County by the VA. Okay. I was in the voc rehab program, and when I suffered my stroke in 2013, so they said I was no longer eligible to be in that program, so they put me in the independent living. Okay. And they sent me to Disability Advocates when they were over on Camelot to teach me how to be disabled. I said, are you serious? Somebody's gonna teach me how? And it's like, yeah, well, I was 47.
Right.
So I had just acquired, a disability, and now my whole life had changed.
Sure. And you have to learn how to navigate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was their job. The VA said we had 24 months for them to teach me how to navigate life now as a person who's been dissed. That's what I like to say. I've been dissed. So I had 24 months. I mean, I spent 47 years as someone who was, walking around and popping and clicking, as I like to say, in 6-inch heels. Uh-huh. But now I just get to sit in them.
I was going to say, now she always wears the 6-inch heels, but she doesn't have to walk in them, which, I mean, you preserve your shoes. You have a beautiful shoe collection, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But my first thought was that Disability Advocates of Kent County works on a macro level. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love it, as I got to understand what they did and, more and more how they came alongside of me to help me live my own self-directed life.
Sure.
And I was like, one day I'm gonna figure this out, and I can't even help myself, but maybe I might help somebody else.
Yeah.
At some point, was my goal. And so it was in 2017, they took me to my first legislative day. Oh my goodness. We were in the state capitol, and we went there saying that we wanted to give more money to our caregivers, because, they're on the front line.
Right.
And they're taking care of us, even when our families don't come alongside of us. And we talked to all of those legislators. They came in the room. They actually came into the room to us since we were special.
Right.
They put us in a room and had them to come to us because we all had varied disabilities.
Sure.
And we finished. We actually got 25 cents more an hour for our caregivers, and I knew it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so that's a big part of what you're doing today.
That was it. It hit me right in here. It was like this righteous indignation that hit me and said, I need to be able to do this even more. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, how do I do this? I looked at everybody who was in the room, and there were so many different shades of disabilities. Mm-hmm. They were diverse. I mean, there were 2 or 3 of us that were in wheelchairs,
Sure.
but different type of chairs.
Yeah.
So that's a diverse ability.
Yep.
And how we get around. And then I looked at the shade of our disabilities. Some you could see, some you couldn't see. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I like that. So that's how the name came about, 100
Sure.
Shades of Diverse Abilities. And then the mission of it to improve the quality of life for persons and their families with diverse abilities legislatively, economically, through community partnerships and education was from legislative day.
Yeah.
Because some things you have to change legislatively, other things they work out through a partnership. Sometimes you have to educate folks, and then other times, it's just plain old we need some monies.
Yeah, right.
We need some monies. And so what I have enjoyed about my relationship with Disability Advocates of Kent County, that once I finish my 24 months, if you will,
Sure.
that they pulled me on board and said, hey, look, you got this thing kind of down pat.
Yeah.
How about you come and rock and roll with us? And I was like, absolutely. So just what I've been able to do with them over the years, and they've really grown me,
Yeah.
if you will, and groomed me. Especially, I think there's a picture of Dave and I, of us together. As he always says, we're conspiring as to what's going to be next for Dr. Kimberly. And his favorite thing to say is, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I've tossed the mic to so many people, they drop it. I tossed the mic to you, you grabbed onto it, and you have been rolling all over.
I was like, you rolled right away with that microphone, didn't you?
I mean, and not even locally, but him and I during the pandemic started a podcast.
Yeah.
It actually ended up being, they call it a live broadcast because we were doing video.
Sure.
And we've had the Lieutenant Governor on. It's been exciting. It was census year, so we had the census came on to talk about how do you get counted in the census, especially as a person with a disability. We have had Dr. Adam London, who is over the, our Kent County Health Department. We've had Dr. Carla Black, who, oh my gosh, that was wonderful. She's an epidemiologist, telling us about COVID and, just all the wonderful pieces. And we've been doing it. This year has been our 5th year.
Wow.
So, time.
There's lots of stories there that people can catch up on now.
Absolutely. Time brings about a change. And so, Dave's schedule has changed from the pandemic. And so I've been doing it on my own for last couple of years or so.
Wonderful.
He makes guest appearances.
Okay.
But it's been 5 years this year.
Okay, so people out there, if they want to learn more about what you're doing, about the advocacy, they want to watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, where do they find that?
Oh, they can go on YouTube at 100 Shades Diversability. Actually, it's going to switch over to Dr. K TV because I have found throughout my interview process and meeting people across the United States that there's some great folks that are doing some things that people need to know about. One person in particular is Mr. Paul Mayfield, who happens to be blind, and his piece is getting people who have disabilities to come out and be a part of the community, that you don't have to feel isolated.
Sure.
So he makes sure that you have transportation.
Right.
I think on Friday, they're gonna be bowling and have pizza. So to be able to highlight that, so he'll be on the show tomorrow to talk about what it is that he does.
Wonderful.
And I love to elevate the voices of those that haven't been heard.
I love that. I love that.
And then my other piece is Shantae Paul, who she is the mother of 2 autistic daughters that are nonverbal. And then her partner, he has an autistic daughter that is nonverbal and he's epileptic. And so the way they've chosen to deal with it is through comedy.
Okay.
And so I like hanging out with them, and I've had them on the show, and she actually has a show coming up on Friday. It'll be live.
Okay, love that. Okay, well, so people need to see what you're doing and need to follow you and learn more and reach out to you. I love this so much. Diversabilitymakeseconomicsense.com is the website. That's where you can find all of this stuff. If you want to follow Dr. Kimberly and see all the great things she's doing, you can just head there. Thank you so much for being here.
Actually, you can just find me on Facebook. 100
Or
Shades.
Facebook.
100 Shades of Diversability, or Dr. Kimberly Barrington.
All the things.
I mean, I'm out there.
You're out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.